Guys, welcome back to my channel. How you all doing? I hope you're having an amazing time. Today I am here with another interesting video. This video makes me excited because it is just new compared to every other thing that I've brought on my channel. If you're new here, guys, do not forget to subscribe. If you've been here from the beginning, thank you so much for your love and support. Today I have with me Mr. Fadi. Mr. Fadi is the CEO of MFH Group. He's going to tell you more about himself and tell us what he does. Which related to MFH Group, and also tell us the side thingy, and that's this chocolates that he produced. Can you imagine? We have like Gambian produced chocolate, and he does that. So first, Mr. Fadi, tell us about yourself. We want to know what you do. Tell us your Gambian background. Tell us about your business, and tell us about this beautiful initiative. This totally thrilled me.
Well, thank you, Isatou. I mean, as you said, I do a lot of things,
Right.
but I am the managing director and the owner of MFH Group.
Right.
People know MFH Group more like Senior Care,
Mm.
LG, Banyan Pharmacy,
Yes.
and King Food. Those are the subsidiaries. We deal with a lot of products, of course. And our company is 50 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, it started by my
Wow.
father from very humble beginnings in 1970. I'm Gambian. I'm
Right.
fourth generation Gambian, actually.
People actually like get it
Yeah.
twisted when we show a fair complexion Gambian.
Yep.
They're like, "How is he Gambian?" We
Yeah.
don't understand. So make
Yeah.
us understand.
Yeah. My great grandfather came here like 1920.
Wow.
So my
That's a long time
grandfather,
ago.
my father, myself were all born here.
Mhm.
In those days, they were in Bansang, of course, before the British left.
Right.
But yeah, I'm Gambian very well, and that's what I do as a business. That's where I earn my living.
Right.
I'm a father of twins. I'm married, but on the side or as a passion, I make chocolate.
This one's, guys. And at the back it says "Made in the Gambia."
Correct, made in the Gambia with love.
With
because
love.
This is purely made out of passion. It still is a hobby. It started as a hobby about 3 years ago,
Mhm.
and it still is a hobby.
Right. So tell us, what inspired you to start making chocolates made in the Gambia? Because I mean, Gambia does a lot of things, but not chocolate. This is a first of its kind. What inspired you?
Well, I like challenges. If there's something nobody's doing, it doesn't mean it cannot be done.
That's true.
And so the story, let me take you a bit back in history, right?
Okay.
So about 13 years ago, the tree you see here, which is full of cocos, cocoa
That's
pod.
this one,
This
guys.
is what we call a cocoa pod.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was given this. This was a baby tree. I was given this by a Ghanaian employee of mine from Ghana,
Okay.
and planted it, and it grew. And 5-6 years down the road, it had cocoa pods. And once you open the cocoa pod, it's full of beans, the dark chocolate bean, cacao beans,
Mhm.
and each bean is surrounded with this white, sweet, liquidy, slimy stuff.
Yeah.
All you can do is suck on that sweet stuff and spit the seed out.
Mm-hmm.
So as it is, there's not much to it. So I just forgot about it. And as you can see, there's always water here
Yes.
because it needs a lot of water.
That's true.
And the tree continued bearing fruit year after year after year. And 3 years ago, I was just walking around and I thought to myself, why is this tree still here? It's either I do something with it or get rid of it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in wasting.
That's true.
And luckily, I did not cut it down. So my curiosity took me to the internet, of course.
Mhm.
And I started doing research on cocoa in Ghana specifically, but in West Africa in general. And then I discovered that West Africa exports 70% of the world's cocoa.
Wow.
Yeah, 70.
I'm just getting to know that.
Correct, 70%. And Ghana and Ivory Coast alone make up 60% of it.
Wow.
So can you imagine that we export the majority of the world's cocoa,
Mm-hmm.
but then we buy back the chocolate?
Does not make any sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. It's
Mhm.
expensive, and most of the chocolates made globally are not very healthy
That's true.
if you really go deep into the ingredients. So that inspired me to start doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started researching how do you make chocolate from cocoa.
Cool.
There's a lot of steps, we can go through them, but
Mhm.
of course the first batches of chocolate I made were not that good.
Right, the first
taste,
tries.
it didn't taste at all. But
Sure.
with time, and every time I'm learning something new, I invested in some machines.
Mhm.
I will ask a lot of people to taste and
Right.
be honest with me.
Mhm.
And some will tell me, it's okay. I know they're not honest.
But I tried it today.
Today
and I
you
must
did.
say you have like, wow, it's
Today
It's one of the best I've tried.
Thank
That's
you.
the honest truth. I'm not saying it because I'm doing this video
you.
or because I'm promoting a product from the Gambia. I love chocolate, and I tried it before this video, and I absolutely loved it.
Thank you very
Right.
much. Today you tried the milk chocolate.
Yes.
So right now I'm really focusing on the milk chocolate
Mhm.
and the 70% dark
Dark
chocolate. And the reason they say dark is a healthier chocolate is
Mhm.
because cocoa itself is
Yeah.
a very healthy fruit.
Okay.
If you can actually eat it raw, which is very bitter, it's very good for your heart, for inflammation. It has a lot of antioxidants,
Right.
but it's very bitter to eat it raw.
Right.
And that's why people end up adding some sugar or some other stuff to make it tastier.
Nice.
But the darker the chocolate, the healthier it is.
Well,
Meaning the more cocoa content.
in the chocolate,
there
the
is.
healthier. Let's talk about the process.
Correct.
I know this must involve a whole lot of process before you get to this final product. And guys, just to remind you, it's called FHbites. And later in the video, he's going to tell us where to get this chocolate. So if you come to the Gambia, you know where to get Gambian made chocolate. And if you're outside the country, we might also talk about how to get it if you're there. So tell us about the process.
It's quite a long process. So there's a lot of byproducts of cocoa.
Mhm.
But let's start with the cocoa itself.
Okay.
So the first thing you need to do once these cocoa pods are yellow,
Mm-hmm.
they're ripe.
Right.
You harvest them, you take them out, you crack them open,
Mhm.
and a cocoa pod like this will have about at least 25 beans.
In it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you do with that? You take out every bean,
Mm-hmm.
and the first step is fermentation. You have to ferment the beans. The fermentation happens in a very humid and hot environment. So you can use different things. In Ghana, for example, they use banana leaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also you can put them in like I use a cooler box, a thermal cooler.
Mm-hmm.
You close it and put them inside in the sun. It gets really hot and humid inside.
And then
And every day you mix them a bit for 5 days.
wow.
So fermentation takes about 5 days.
5 days.
And then you'll start seeing that nice bacteria building up into it.
Mm.
And that gives it a lot of flavor.
Right.
And then after the 5 days of fermenting, you got to dry them. And that is also very simple and free.
Mm-hmm.
You put them out in the sun. As simple as that. You just spread them out in the sun, mix them up every day, once or twice, and let them dry. Because you don't want any moisture or liquid in the beans once you come to processing them into chocolate.
Right.
Now that you have the fermented and dried cocoa bean,
Mm-hmm.
you have a product that can make a lot of money. So when I say Ghana and Ivory Coast and West Africa export 70% of the world's cocoa, that's what they export.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fermented and dried beans.
Okay. That's what.
So that's what is sent to all over the world, and that's what people use to make chocolate.
Right.
Now coming to making chocolate is an addition. It's an added value to the cocoa,
To the seeds.
to the cocoa bean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Making chocolate is a long process as well. So you take these fermented and dried beans.
Mm-hmm.
First, you have to roast them. You can roast using a pot or a roaster or an oven.
Mm-hmm.
Warm them up, roast them. They get a bit darker
Yes.
and they give it more flavor as well. After roasting, it's like peanuts. You peel them. The shell comes off easily. You peel them all. And after peeling them all, you of course throw away the peel. You don't need the peel. You have what we call the final cocoa nib.
Which is.
The final product inside the shell.
Mhm.
That's the nib. And that's your final product that you use to make any chocolate you want. Depending on your recipe, let me give you an example. If we're making a 70% dark chocolate, we're gonna basically use 70% cocoa nibs,
Mm-hmm.
and then 30% would be sugar. That's a simple recipe, but there's a lot of recipes: milk, nuts, cranberries, flavors. Some people have even asked me for 95% dark chocolate. They don't want any sugar in it.
So for now, these are just the two. This is 70%, and this is mint dark chocolate.
Correct.
So these are just the two.
There's one more which I don't have right now. It's
Mhm.
a 70% dark.
dark chocolate.
This has mint in it.
Okay.
There's one without mint. 70%.
Right.
But you can make anything.
Okay.
Once you have that cocoa nib and you have the proper machines. Actually, in fact, I should have continued.
Mm-hmm.
When you put the ingredients together, so let's say you put your sugar, you put your cocoa,
Yeah.
there's a machine called a whetstone grinder,
Mm-hmm.
which grinds them together. And that runs for a minimum of 18 hours,
Wow.
sometimes up to 2-3 days. You run that machine non-stop. It grinds everything together and gives you that smooth, silky chocolate liquid.
Oh.
Beautiful. And then when you're done with that, you have to temper.
Mm-hmm.
Tempering chocolate is a very important part of making perfect chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Without it, you still have chocolate, but with it, you have perfect chocolate. What I mean by that, it has a beautiful shine, it breaks properly when you bite it,
Right.
and it doesn't melt as fast.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're done with tempering, you put them in molds. depending on the design of the mold you want, the
Mhm.
size, the bit smaller molds, big molds, heart shaped molds,
Mhm.
stars molds.
I tried the hard shape.
Yeah, and then you put them in the fridge and you're done. Of course, the last step would be wrapping them with aluminum
Packaging
foils,
like
packaging
this.
them.
Guys, this is amazing. And now I know you make this on small scale, and that's because you're a busy man. You have a whole lot of things going on. But this is like leisure to you. But let's say in the future, in few months, you want to make it bigger. Do you have plans? I saw the siblings over there, and that's like a whole lot of trees. Let's talk about that.
But the seedlings is one part of the process.
Mhm.
So people ask me why you're doing this,
Right.
right? It still is a hobby.
Yeah.
I love doing it. So the first reason I'm doing it, I enjoy it.
Mhm.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy having the kitchen smell like pure chocolate
Right.
and your fingers are dripping with chocolate?
With chocolate, right?
That feeling is amazing.
I agree.
But then the second reason I'm doing this interview with you and
Mhm.
I'm sharing this knowledge
Yes.
is that Gambians also know and realize there's so much we can do here.
Mhm.
This cocoa tree or variety we have here is bearing fruit all year round. So
No,
it's not seasonal. No, it's not like mangoes or it's not seasonal at all.
Mhm.
And it grows so easily.
Mhm.
So that alone is a product.
That's true.
Gambia can export. So why not Gambia in 10, 15 years exports cocoa?
That would
Just
make
like
a whole
other
lot of
African
sense.
countries.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if you want to do chocolate, that's another business.
Mhm.
If you want to do cocoa butter, the cream,
Yeah, the creams.
it
yes.
comes from
Really?
cocoa butter comes from cocoa.
I didn't know
That's
that.
why it's called cocoa butter because the bean, the cocoa bean, is
Mhm.
half butter.
Okay.
When you grind it, you extract the butter from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So which means when we have like silent plans to go bigger.
To be honest with you, as you said, I'm very busy with my
Yes.
business and my family. So
Mhm.
the only time I have to make chocolate is at night.
At night.
But I'm not gonna stop myself if there is that demand.
Yes.
If people love the chocolate and demand is growing,
Mhm.
I have to figure out a way to make this more into a commercial business,
Yes.
whether it's a small scale factory.
Mhm.
And maybe people listening could be interested and saying, look, I want to join this too.
Yeah, which will make sense.
Why don't I work with you, Fadi? You don't have
Right.
time,
Mhm.
but let me make chocolate with you.
Mhm.
The room is open for everybody. It's not a secret.
Yes.
I learned this on the internet.
Mhm. So the products, where can one get them?
Right
Yeah.
now, you can buy them at Farm Fresh,
Farm
Bakau
Fresh.
Newtown, Farm
Mhm.
Fresh, and Maroon's Supermarket, Maroon's Kololi.
That's the Kololi.
Correct,
Okay.
Kololi brand.
So let's say for people outside the Gambia, it's not available yet for export.
I've had different people ask me for that.
Mhm.
First restriction we have is actually trying to ship food abroad.
Mhm.
So, for example, the European Union, I think, and the US have restrictions
Okay.
in terms of DHLing is food products. They
products,
have
okay.
restrictions on importing food products.
Ah.
That's one factor.
Mhm.
The second factor is the mode of transport. It depends where you're taking it,
Mhm.
but there's also temperature involved.
Yes.
So chocolate starts to melt above 25 degrees Celsius.
So it always needs to be cold.
Correct. The ideal storing temperature of chocolate is not more than 20 degrees Celsius.
Mhm.
It stays perfectly shaped and formed because
Right.
there is a chemical composition of chocolate.
Right.
Once you hit 25 degrees, it's gonna start getting softer and softer and softer.
True.
And if that happens, and the variation of temperatures, you're gonna eventually open up a chocolate bar and
And
realize
it's
it
all
has that
melt,
white layer like that. So it's not gonna be perfect.
Right.
So that's the other restriction. So for now, I'm not exporting.
Mhm.
People are free to take it anywhere they want. I've had people take it to the US, to Dubai, to UK already,
Mhm.
and they're friends.
Well, if you get here, you can buy as much as you want for your friends. I saw the promo on Valentine's Day, and I'm sure a lot of people got it for their loved ones. This is really interesting, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this interview with you, because I felt you're doing something really unique, and people need to know about it, and the young people out there need to learn from you. So if you're interested in making chocolates, you want to learn more, I'm going to drop Mr. Fadi's email. That is with his permission, of course. Then you can contact him and you can do
The easiest way to contact me regarding the chocolate
Okay.
is on our social media pages.
pages. Okay.
FHbites. So it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter.
Okay.
Just go to FHbites,
Mhm.
follow the page, send me a message there. I'm the one who responds to them.
Perfect. So I'll put the links in the description. Check there for all the information regarding FHbites. So if you have any questions, you've heard Mr. Fadi, you can always go to the social media pages, follow, like, comment, and send your questions there. and he will be more than willing to answer. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Any final words, Mr. Fadi? Inspiration to
you
young
you need to call me Fadi.
He says that all the time.
But Isatou, thank you so much. I think what you're doing is great.
Thank you.
What you're doing for women, what you're doing for Gambia is great. Keep it up.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
Yeah, just I advise everybody to stay curious. Just read, try to find out more about what you can do. Try to get involved in things that not everybody's doing. Because if you do what everybody's doing,
it does.
You get what everybody's getting.
That's true.
So if you want to be different, try to think differently.
So thank you so much, Fadi.
Thank you.
And he has been really supportive to me from the very beginning. Anytime I knock on his office and I'm like, Mr. Fadi, I need this. He's always there to assist. So I want to say thank you so much. And I truly appreciate all that you have done for me and for Gambians out there. So guys, that is it from us. So have a good day and subscribe, like, and comment.